Spanish-speaking countries of the world, presenting Ecuador. Ecuador, officially República de Ecuador, is a small country on the west coast of South America and shares a border with Colombia and Peru. Its diverse landscape encompasses Amazon jungle, Andean highlands, and the wildlife-rich Galapagos Islands. Hundreds of years ago, the land that is now Ecuador was home to many indigenous peoples. Later, the Inca Empire took over and ruled the land. In 1531, Spanish explorers arrived and made Ecuador a colony of Spain. The Spanish ruled Ecuador for almost 300 years until 1822, when Ecuador became an independent country. The flag of Ecuador consists of 3 horizontal stripes in yellow, blue, and red. The yellow stripe represents the country's wealth and natural resources, the blue stands for the sky and the ocean, and the red honors the blood of those who fought for Ecuador's independence. The coat of arms in the center of the flag shows a condor, a powerful bird that symbolizes freedom and strength. The capital of Ecuador is Quito. Quito is a large city high up in the Andes Mountains and is one of the highest capitals in the world. Quito is close to the Earth's equator that runs through the northern part of the country. The currency of Ecuador is the US dollar. Since the year 2000, Ecuador has used the US dollar instead of its old currency, the sucre. While Ecuador uses the same paper bills as the United States, it also has its own special coins called centavos that are only used within Ecuador. The population of Ecuador is approximately 18.2 million people, and its official language is Spanish, although Quechua and other indigenous languages are also commonly spoken. The national dish of Ecuador is called bolón de verde. Bolón de verde are small fried plantain dumplings filled with cheese, herbs, and spices, and are one of Ecuador's most famous dishes. Bolón de verde is typically eaten with fried eggs, hot sauce, and a hot cup of coffee. Interesting facts. Ecuador gets its name from the equator, the invisible line that divides the earth in half. You can stand with 1 foot on the northern hemisphere and 1 in the southern hemisphere at a special monument called Mitad del Mundo, meaning middle of the earth in English. Like most Latin American countries, soccer or fútbol is easily the most popular sport in Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands are a group of islands in Ecuador famous for their unique animals and beautiful landscapes. The blue-footed booby of the Galapagos Islands is a bird with bright blue feet that does a funny dance to attract a mate. Another amazing creature of the Galapagos Islands is the giant tortoise, one of the largest tortoises in the world. It can live for over 100 years. Ecuador has more than 40 volcanoes, and Cotopaxi is the most famous. Cotopaxi is a tall, snow-covered volcano that is still active and is one of the highest volcanoes in the world. The famous Panama hat was first made in Ecuador from straw, but it got its name because workers in Panama wore them while building the Panama Canal. A big part of Ecuador is covered by the Amazon rainforest, filled with tall trees, rivers, and amazing animals like monkeys, sloths, jaguars, and colorful birds like toucans and the majestic blue and yellow macaw. Ecuador is a chocolate lover's paradise. It grows some of the best cacao in the world, which is used to make delicious chocolate. In many countries, the guinea pig is kept as a pet, but in Ecuador, these little animals are called cuy and are a common source of protein, especially in the Andes Mountains. The Andean condor is the national bird of Ecuador. The condor is one of the biggest flying birds in the world. It soars high above the Andes Mountains and is a symbol of strength, freedom, and power in Ecuador.